And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 11th of April, 2018. It's the birthday of the poet Christopher Smart, born in Shipburn, England, 1722. He experienced a religious awakening and began praying in accordance with the biblical injunction to pray ceaselessly. He would fall to his knees whenever moved by the Spirit, which was an embarrassment to his family, and they put him into an asylum, where he wrote the two poems for which he is best known, A Song to David and Jubilate Agno. It's the birthday of the humorist Leo Roston, born in Lodz, Poland, 1908. He was the editor of The Joys of Yiddish. It came out in 1968, a dictionary that described the 20 situations where one should say feh and 19 meanings of the word nu, and included entries on chutzpah and oi. It's the birthday of the writer Dorothy Allison, born Greenville, South Carolina, 1949, grew up desperately poor, the child of an unwed 15-year-old mother. She was abused by her stepfather, but her teachers inspired her to go on to college. She became the first person in her family to attend college. She wrote a memoir about her childhood, 2 or 3 Things I Know for Sure, and a novel, Bastard Out of Carolina. Dorothy Allison, who said, people want biography, people want memoir. They want you to tell them that the story you're telling them is true. And it's the birthday of the poet Mark Strand, born in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, Canada, 1934. His dad worked for Pepsi-Cola. The family moved across Canada and the United States down to Mexico, Cuba, Colombia, Peru. He went off to the Yale School of Art and Architecture, studied painting there, then decided his talent lay in writing. Spent a year in Florence, went to the Iowa Writers' Workshop. Over the next 15 years, published 7 collections of poetry, and then decided he was burned out. He wrote children's books for a time, a book of short stories called Mr. and Mrs. Baby and Other Stories, picked up a translation of the Iliad by Robert Fitzgerald, and was inspired to start writing again. Toward the end of his life, age of 77, he quit writing poetry. He'd fallen in love with a Spanish woman. He moved to Madrid, and he began making collages, he said, as an escape from making meaning. I got tired of writing poems, of trying to make sense. Here's a poem by Mark Strand entitled When I Turned 100. I wanted to go on an immense journey, to travel night and day into the unknown, until, forgetting my old self, I came into possession of a new self, one that I might have missed on my previous travels. But the first step was beyond me. I lay in bed, unable to move, pondering, as one does at my age, the ways of melancholy, how it seeps into the spirit, how it disincarnates the will, how it banishes the senses to the chill of twilight, how even the best and worst intentions wither in its keep. I kept staring at the ceiling, then suddenly felt a blast of cold air, and I was gone. When I Turned 100, by Mark Strand, from his collected poems published by Alfred A. Knopf and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac, supported by the Poetry Foundation. Throughout the month of April, their favorite poem project, Florida, invites Floridians to submit their favorite poem. Florida-based listeners can submit their nominations at poetryfoundation.org/favorite poem Florida. And by Progressive Insurance, working to make progress for more than 75 years. Engineered by Noah Smith, produced by Joy Biles. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.